Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video we will go over some of the same stuff we have in regards to the missing consignment. We found him. The guy reached out, he saw the video, and he said, hey, that's my consignment. And he did actually send me a tracking number inside of the email, or inside of an email, and for some reason when I searched my Gmail, that tracking number would not pull up. Sometimes Gmail does that. However, none of that other information was there on the box. There was nothing on the outside or inside. I believe if he had put a return address, maybe it got ripped off. There was a part that was ripped off. He said that there was another card in there as well. He said there was a Groudon play promo, but I did not see that one. I know I turned the box inside and out looking for information or a slip or something just to see who it was, but I did not see that Groudon. I even went back to the trash, so I'm hoping that that pops up on his side. But these items will be live now, so you should be able to go and bid on them, or you should be able to in the next few days. I've got a lot of stuff scheduled out. I'm really throwing some cool items up in auction now, so keep an eye out. There's a lot of low-end stuff, a lot of high-end stuff. You know, there's a wide variety, sealed product, and a lot of mostly graded cards. Now, here's something else that I got in on consignment. This is really cool right here. So we've got a first edition Venusaur, first edition Blastoise, and a first edition Charizard sealed booster pack. And what's cool about these is even though that the Charizard weighs in at 20.54 grams, which would be a lightweight most definitely, these two come in very likely heavy. Got a 21.14 and a 21.32. At the moment, it is set that all three of these will be going at the same time in a lot, although we are in talks of possibly changing that to individual listings. So just be on the lookout if you're interested. And these packs are in great shape. I checked the seals on everything. Everything seems to check out. You can see right here, they're in great shape. Look at the flaps, nice and intact. And then, you know, some people, like I went over this in a previous video, but some people actually get worried about this right here, where you see a little split, but that should actually be present because you can see that the crimp doesn't go all the way to the top. If you have a pack that's been resealed or glued or whatever, it's more likely that they're not going to be able to get that glue exactly, you know, in there where the crimp is. So the fact that it goes down nice and tight, straight to the crimp, that's actually a good sign for a pack. And these are in such good shape. I don't really have much doubt about them. So I'm willing to take liability in case something does happen. And I do apologize for my knuckles where, you know, that is another I'm always tearing up my hands, I'm sorry guys, but you know, that's just something that happens. I was actually trying to pull out one of, you see them things right here. See those black tubes right there? They connect the different shelves. One of them had snapped at the bottom. And so I was trying to pull it out without taking everything off the shelf. And I removed the top part, and then I was trying to torque out the bottom part. And I jerked up really hard, and then my knuckles actually popped into the upper shelf. And because it had some stuff on it, it was still actually pretty heavy. And plastic can be sharp at times. It was definitely then. It just actually just kind of went into my knuckles. So this wasn't me getting into a bar fight or anything like that. But anyways, sorry for the little side tangent. I'm excited to see where this stuff goes. These will definitely qualify for the 10% consignment value. For those of you who are unaware, I did my rates for 5,000 plus individual items drops from 20% to 10%. That's on the wholesale, not beyond 5K or anything like that. And then that 10%, that includes your eBay fee, transaction fees, all that kind of stuff. For those of you who are unaware, whenever you sell in places like I'll put it to you this way. Whenever you go to a place like PWCC, Heritage, Golden, you normally pay like this 20% buyer premium, you know, as a buyer. I'm not sure how it all works out, but I've heard that sometimes like these places have their own fee up to 15%. Then they also have the buyer premium, and then those buyers that are paying in there, on top of that, they're going to be paying the shipping and the insurance and the transaction fees, and so really you're losing out quite a bit of the value. Whereas all of that's bundled into my percentage. I just like to keep it simple. So if you can sign with me, say these sell for $15,000, then my fee is going to be $1,500, and that includes all your stuff. So that means you're going to get $13,500 as the seller. The only way you get less is if you chose to take payment PayPal goods and services. I don't do the friends and family. I do bank deposit. Then you have a fee based on wherever you live. But anyways, I'm really enjoying the consignments. Thanks guys for sending me in. I don't want to harp on it too much, but how about that? How about that stuff that we saw? You know, the Pokemon Illustrator, $900,000. That's crazy. And on top of that, you have to keep in mind that they also had to pay insurance, and if they didn't have a resale tax and use ID, they had to pay sales tax as well. So that value could have been upwards of $1 million. So I'm showing you guys these right now because these were all sent back from PSA. I had submitted them, and they are counterfeit, according to Rattle's video and from what I'm seeing on E4 and a couple other places. I'll be honest with you, they look really nice, and the quality seems really good. Compared to the sizes, the sizes seem the same, but these are probably the best counterfeits that I've seen. They look so much like the originals, other than the fact that they don't say "Made in Japan" right here, and I had no idea. You know, and this is to let you guys know, like, you're probably never going to be an expert in every part of anything. Like, I've been in the hobby for so long, and I've handled these cards many times, and I could not tell the difference between this and this. Like, from the front side, I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think in Rattle's video, he said something about the corners being a little different, the size being a little different. This one, I mean, the size looks the same. Maybe if I don't know, I can't see anything coming through, but it's in a PSA case, so it's hard to tell. The colors, the grain, everything looks the same. Now, I do have some of these that have like the hollow, and I knew if those were counterfeit, a lot of times the front and the back would actually not match. Like what you would have on the front and then the scene that was stuck on the back. But the main difference that you see right here is the fact that it says "Made in Japan" on this side. It doesn't say "Made in Japan" on that side. I'm curious to look at these under like a microscope and see what the differences are. Because I'll be honest with you, this one almost looks like it's less grainy than that one, but it could just be where the PSA case is. And I remember I got these back from PSA, and I'm like, man, why did they question these as, you know, not authentic? And, you know, I just kind of set them off to the side. You can kind of see right here, you know, just questionable authenticity. And what was weird about all of these is I had submitted these in a collection that I had bought, and what was crazy enough, these are all the ones that have Charizard in the name. You can see right here, this is the one, Charizard and Magmar. It's the one where it's got like a world. Really cool artwork on this one. Double Charizards there. But all the other ones, they graded. And they all seem the same quality to me. Here's another Charizard. Like, all of these had Charizard. Can't see on this one, but yeah, this is Squirtle and Charizard. You guys know I collect the Charizard cards. However, most of these I actually already have PSA graded 10, so it wasn't that big of a deal anyways. But they graded all of the other ones, but I will say this, the other ones that they graded said "Made in Japan." In fact, you guys will find these on my eBay now. When I saw Rattle's video come out, I was like, oh man, I wonder if those ones that I just put up are counterfeit, because I had no idea about this "Made in Japan" thing. And I went back, and sure enough, all of them had "Made in Japan," so they were fine. I went ahead and added pictures of the back, because I never knew that was a big issue with this kind of stuff. And so I appreciate Rattle for coming out with that video, even though there's a thing on E4, there's so much information on there, like, you can get lost. But you can see, like, I've got these, like, all of them in PSA 10 already. Wait, that's not the one. I mean, they look so similar. A lot of times you can tell with fakes. I wonder if I'm just inexperienced. This one right here, I can see a little difference in the top right. See right there? Now that one's got like a dot of green, but this one doesn't have it. So I'm wondering if that's a known difference. What if there's like other issues that, you know, if I stared at it long enough, you know, they would pop up. And you can see right here, definitely no "Made in Japan" on the bottom of that one. We'll compare a few more, and then I'll just go ahead and move on. I actually got a few more purchases I forgot to show you guys, some pretty cool ones actually. Thanks to Jim at Pokemon on that one, on this one. So let's see, do I have this one? Yeah, this one right here. Maybe you guys can just see something quickly that I'm missing. You could point out, you know, just in the comments. Now, he did say supposedly there might be a non-Made in Japan version, but this one I can see a little bit of difference in the color. Like, this looks more red than that, but again, I wouldn't normally I wouldn't automatically dismiss that. I mean, we see all kinds of range of colors and like print hues, that kind of stuff for English side. Maybe not so much on Japanese side. I mean, maybe that's a bigger indicator because the quality is different. But anyways, thanks Rattle for pointing that out. It made me feel a lot better about PSA sending these cards back. And then I'll be keeping an eye out myself. In fact, I've got rows and rows of some of those like sticker ones that I'm 100% sure, I'm pretty close to 100% sure that are fake. I'm gonna go back there and see if I can find any of them that look like they might actually be real, because I think I just started grouping them all together because I was afraid to sell them because I didn't know which ones are real and which ones are fake. And these I thought were real, but now it seems like they are fake according to him and PSA and E4 and people who are way more experienced in this than I am. But it's really good fakes. So I mean, good job on the people who printed those. They actually made something that was pretty passable. The only thing is, if you did this good of quality, like why would you take out the Made in Japan? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Like if you could do all of this and get make it so passable and look so close, like why would you omit Made in Japan? Okay. I don't know. That's the part that really doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm going to show you guys some more stuff that I bought. I bought these cards right here. Jim Mint, he sent me a story from Trade Natural, and he's like, hey man, he's selling this for $7,500. That was a fair enough price, because I know one on PWCC sold for about $10K. Before that, it was like $4 or $5K somewhere else, and so $7,500 seemed like a good price to me. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and take that one. I bought this one. I can't remember what I told you guys, but it was much less than that. And then he also had these in the store, and they were lined up, 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, I need all 3 of these. And all 3 of them he actually had priced very well. Very reasonable anyways, compared to what we've seen lately. I wasn't, for a while there, I didn't want to pay more than $700 for this card, and I didn't want to pay more than $1,000 for this card, but there's been several auctions lately that kind of pushed the price in the other direction. So I think he wanted $2,700 for this one, and then $1,600 or $1,700 for this one. I think it was $1,600, and I just went and accepted all 3. And the condition, honestly, they're really good. So it's pretty optimal for what you'd want, so I was very happy to get that. Thank you, Trade Natural. And the reason I pictured this green one right here is because if you notice, there's no difference in the card S vending, how they actually identify the cards, the variants, in the PSA set registry. So I did email them. I also tagged them in a post on IG, and I also submitted to the Customer Request Center that they actually recognize the green part 1 and then the red part 2. Now the red is usually a little bit more expensive. I guess people like red. I don't really know. Maybe it's more scarce, but I think green is technically the part 1. I don't know if they were released at the same time or if it was this one released and then this one later, but they are definitely different cards. I mean, you've got the entire set with green, and then you have the entire set with red. I'm not sure I don't think you have variations for the Secret Rare Town map cards, but the actual set itself, you've got the green and the red. This is for the non-hollows and the hollows, from what I can find. So I submitted the information, gave them pictures, hoping that they will recognize the 2 variations. A lot of times they don't want to do something like that when it's been so long and they've graded so many cards. But I'm hoping that they do, because this is a very obvious difference. I kind of understand it with the top, since there's so many variations and it would be hard to tell at times. But this should be very obvious that there's a huge difference, and then there's also a difference in the price. So I'm hoping that that they do take to that, and then I can send these back in and have them regraded, and then we can start all submitting that way. Now, before we go, I did want to mention one thing to you guys. I've started on Patreon making my sales data available via like a Google Sheet. So if you're on the Pokemon Business Sense tier or higher from a Patreon, you do get to ask questions for my weekly or my monthly Q&A, which not too many people ask questions anyways, but I do a video for that. And you can also ask questions at any time through my email, and I'll answer those. But I'm also going to start submitting once a month a Google Doc for anyone who on that level or higher to have access to, and you'll have access to previous ones as well. So for March, you're going to have access to my February data that I can download for all the sales that were paid and shipped for through my eBay, and you're going to get a good bit of information, I think, that way. It's not just going to be the amounts and what the item was, but when possible, it's also going to show what orders were grouped together, location, that kind of stuff. Was GSP used? And not all of the information can be divulged, but I will be providing that information. So if you're interested in that kind of market info, feel free to sign up on there. It's pretty simple. A lot of people just stay quiet that are on my Patreon. In fact, almost everybody does. But of course, if you have questions and you want to ask them publicly, we'll do a video once a month, and I talk through any of those questions that come in. Anyways, guys, I know it's been mostly talking this video. I didn't show a ton of stuff, but there was a lot here kind of to unpack and unravel, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we'll have another video coming out hopefully really soon. Thanks.